Welcome to Pattern Talk. This is Captain Chaos. I'm the webmaster for TeamChaos.com. That's TEAM-chaos, KAOS.com. It's my pleasure to have Bill Carter from Eugene, Oregon. It is Eugene. Portland, Oregon. Down here, he's traveled a long way to attend our contest, which is at East Valley Aviators at Apache Junction, Arizona. It's the club that is our host, and we appreciate their support and the support of pilots like Bill that have flown Pattern for almost countless years. Bill and I became acquainted probably, I'm going to say over 25 years ago.
Yeah, in the early 90s, late 80s, somewhere in there.
Yeah, we were all flying Pattern. And we hooked up. I started flying IMAC and got separated out of Pattern. Bill just continued to fly Pattern. We kind of got apart, and then we connected up a few years ago at the Dusters Field in Woodburn, Oregon. Bill recognized me, and the meeting was funny. It was funny. We were both joining the club on the same night. Do you remember that,
Yes.
Bill? And so the president was introducing new members, and they introduced Bill as a new member of the Dusters, and it didn't click at that time. But then they introduced me, and Bill recognized me. And I think he said, "You're Captain Chaos," or something like that, and it blew me away. Who's this guy? And then it began to come back. So we've enjoyed a nice friendship through many, many years. And I think one of the most impressive things that I saw that many years ago was the father-son team that Bill had going. Jeff Carter is his son, and I can remember Jeff, I think he was, maybe 10 or 11?
Yeah, 9, 10, when he
10
started.
years old, and I swear, we'd go out there and fly, I don't know if it was novice pattern or what, I think we were in sort of the beginning classes, weren't we?
We were
Yeah.
definitely.
And there they were, working together, and I just think that's one of the marvelous things about this sport, to see fathers take that kind of interest in their son and work together on a hobby within an environment that's really, really positive. So, Bill, I have a couple of questions. Can you tell our listeners how you kind of got started in remote, or just say modeling, and then remote control, proportional control, and then what led you into pattern competition? Your thoughts?
I think I was probably born with an airplane in my mouth. From childhood, I enjoyed model airplanes, and I started out, of course, like everybody, with the hand-launched gliders, and then I progressed to rubber band-powered gliders, and then I had a neighbor that had some control line airplanes. So, and I thought that looked pretty neat. So I built myself a shop up in my garage, or up the attic above the garage, and built a control line model airplane. So, and of course, that progressed into many years later, RC. Of course, you go through the family portion, where you get out of the hobby,
Right.
you come back, and then I thought, well, this is a perfect thing for a father-son, so I kind of got back into it, got into radio control, and was fortunate enough to learn after several crashes to be able to keep an airplane in the air long enough to teach my son how to fly. Of course, he took it up much quicker than I did and learned much faster and got much better. So I don't know, I think I've been flying forever, as long as I can remember.
Tell us how Jeff transitioned into flying as a career for the Air Force, right? Primarily F-16s.
F-16s.
And he's presently an instructor at Luke Air Force Base.
He is now at Holloman in Alamogordo.
Kind of go through that. What did you see in Jeff as he developed?
Okay, well, he had a real early interest in aviation, which might have come from his father, I don't know, but he was flying around little wooden toy airplanes when he was crawling. And he progressed up to starting to build airplanes. He was much more of a perfectionist at building airplanes. He loved building airplanes much more than I did. I only wanted to build so I could fly it. He liked to build because he liked the craftsmanship of building. And so he got building and flying, and I also had a pilot's license in an airplane, a full-scale airplane. So I taught him to also fly that. So he had an interest in aviation from that aspect, yeah. And then he decided he wanted to go in the Air Force and fly jets. And so he went through ROTC at Oregon State and got selected to get into flight training. And it always wasn't an easy road for him. It was very difficult. The jet pilot training program is designed to weed out, the people that would be better off to fly cargo planes, which they do. But he made it through it, and then he had a very nice career in the Air Force, flying F-16s. He instructed at Shepherd Air Force Base for a while in T-38s, and then he went back to just regular flying. And now he's back instructing again in F-16s at Holloman Air Force Base. But he's still flying RCs, and he's designing his own model airplanes and building them from scratch.
I was just going to ask you about that. Now, he designs, builds, and flies his own airplane. Does he do that as kind of a sideline business for anybody else, or is this just kind of a personal thing?
Just for him. Just for him.
Himself.
Yeah, his airplane has been kitted, but it has nothing to do with him. Somebody wanted somebody to kit it, and they had his plans, and they just kitted it. But,
So somebody is, are they still kidding?
oh yeah.
What's the name of that plane?
It's a Lightning.
It's the Lightning.
Yeah.
And who distributes that?
Eureka.
Eureka.
Yeah.
They're in Oregon too, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah, all right. Well,
In fact, there's one. See that airplane right there? That's a Lightning. That yellow and orange
the
airplane.
yellow and orange one.
That's a Lightning.
I'll try to get down there and take a shot of that sometime during the contest, and I'll edit that to be part of this interview. So that's
the plane that he designed.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. All right. And is the name Lightning?
I don't think it is. I don't know that.
Do you know the pilot's name?
Mark Burnett.
Mark Burnett. All right. Well, that's all I need to know.
So,
Bill, coming this far now to a contest like this, tell me, what is it that draws you? What is the most enjoyable thing that you can think about when you come to a pattern contest?
I like the camaraderie of the people that are in the contest, come to watch the contest. I just like to be around people and interact with people that like aviation. And I do like to fly in front of judges and try to improve my flying that way, but that's not the only reason I come to these contests.
Well, that's a perfect answer. I mean, I hear that echoed over and over again. Camaraderie is the social networking is, I think, pretty much the number one reason that we get together. I'm reminded, in a few of the past interviews here, I'm reminded of President Trump. Half the people in Congress stood and half sat. You do not see that at a pattern contest. That kind of politics
It does not exist. No.
If you have a problem on the ground, in the air, everybody, pilots want you to succeed, and they will help you.
He'll help you work it out.
And you're not a dummy or anything else. There's no question that is not smart, And it's that sort of thing that total. I mean, I think we're 2.5 decades into this,
And something's got to have kept us.
Something's got to have kept us, And I'm not here sitting doing this to take home money.
None of us have ever made any money flying the sport of pattern.
We're not there to do that. Tell us something about your
My
plane.
It's a very, very simple, basic, entry-level pattern airplane. It's very inexpensive. It comes already put together. In other words, you need to put some linkages in it and put the controls in it and the landing gear on it. But it's basically all together. It's all covered, and all the pieces are there. So it's very simple.
Distributes that?
That's Extreme Flight.
Extreme Flight.
Yeah.
And can you recall the approximate cost of it?
It's $600 plus shipping.
All right, so we're not talking a four-figure number
No,
here.
no, no.
And a good entry in an airplane. Perhaps somebody that would be looking at the entry, the new club
The new
class,
club class, yeah.
or sportsman, intermediate, and you're flying this in advance, right?
And I've been flying this airplane for 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah, it's a very good, honest airplane.
So I think we can tell our listeners that, it's not an arm and a leg
Oh,
to
no.
enjoy precision aerobatics and
No,
contests.
no, it's not. There's things that you could do that cost you a lot more money.
Yeah,
Golf, for instance.
that's for sure. Yeah, it's amazing the cost membership of the clubs that we join for the fun and the enjoyment and the environment, everything together. I mean, it's really inexpensive, isn't it?
We really get our money's worth, I'll tell you, out of this hobby. Yeah.
Well, Bill, I think that about wraps it up. We really appreciate you spending your time with us here today. Of course, we wish you the best of luck
Thank you.
during the contest. And again, very thankful for your support.
Yeah, I can make it work.
Yes, let me tell you, what I think a good contest is a contest where you can come, have good weather, good food, good camaraderie, and take your airplane home the way you brought it.
Perfect.
That's a good contest.
It's gonna
How's the
take me a
weather
while
up
to
in
kind of.
North
Well,
Portland?
I haven't flown since October.
Snowing.
It's not
So
nice.
you'll take this any day, right?
Oh, yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
Okay, well, again, good luck, Bill.
Thanks,
we
Ron.
appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you flying this weekend.
Thank you.